See, and this is the reason why I want a Fantastical Batman. When you hear James Gunn say, I can't wait for people to see more of him along with Superman. What's going on, guys? You know what? Let's get into this, because if you're already here, it's because you already subscribed to the channel. You're already familiar with this format. So let's get into this. Happy New Year to everyone out there. Hopefully you had a fun Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I know I haven't uploaded like an official video in a couple of days because I wanted to celebrate the New Year's and Christmas and have some family time, some time off. So anyway, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is going to begin production on January 13th, just a couple of days from today. Today is just the 4th, so I guess in 9 days it's gonna start production. I don't think we're gonna get to see a suit. I know a lot of people are already assuming that we're gonna get a suit reveal. I would love if they do, like, if they go back to the way that they were doing, they did with the Batman, they did with the Joker, where they did a camera test and you saw the suit reveal. I wish they would do that, so that way it's a little bit more control, and people and the director take his time and present exactly how people should see this suit. So that way you don't get all those behind the scenes images. But I think a lot of this stuff is gonna be shot on studio. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of on location. I could be wrong, but this is gonna be a space opera. So a lot of this stuff is not gonna be set in the real world, unless they show something with her in Metropolis with Superman or Clark, and then we see some behind the scenes. But in the same news, something happened that we kind of knew that was gonna happen. Well, not in this movie. I thought, and actually that was like the biggest news out of, like, this was supposed to be the big news, but the biggest news out of this, it was that Jason Momoa is gonna be playing a Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Now, this is like it was not a secret. Like, everybody knew, like, I knew for a long time, and I'm not even a scooper. I never wanted to talk about it. I was like, it's gonna come out eventually. But everybody that didn't know kind of assumed that was gonna happen anyway, because from day one that he just walked away from Aquaman, that very last shot, I'm like, yeah, this dude doesn't care. He's just done with this franchise, and he's ready to do Lobo. And yeah, so he's gonna be playing Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I think he's gonna kill it. That man was born to play Lobo. He's been preparing his whole life. He's a fan. This is his dream role. And what I find fascinating about this is, you know, the Fracture fandom, part of the fandom, they have turned on this man who's actually, like, they cannot be happy for him getting the role of the dream role that he wants to play. You know, there's two actually, now that I think about it, there's two actors that have gotten the dream role. David Corenswet, his dream role was to play Superman, and he got it. Now we got Jason Momoa getting his dream role. So, you know, I'm happy for him. So if you're not happy, I don't know what kind of fan are you, if you were a fan at all. So, you know, kudos to him. I don't think there's a more perfect casting for this dude. Like, he's been prepping for this role his entire life. His whole persona was created around Lobo. So that when the time came, nobody could deny him. It's like he was practicing. He was like Jordan of Lobos. He was practicing for this moment. Put me in, coach. I got this. Coach looked at him and was like, yeah, that's the man. So yeah, the main man is gonna come to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I don't know if they're gonna show space dolphins. If you are a comic book reader, if you know, you know. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really happy for him. Now, one thing is, in the comic book, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, there's a bounty hunter that is hired by Ruthie, who she hires this guy to kill Krem of the Yellow Hills and avenge her father's death. So this is the role that he's gonna take. Now, we're not gonna get the bounty hunter, we're gonna get the official bounty hunter of the DCU, which is Lobo. And Tom King said that he actually, I uploaded a quick video about that. Tom King said that initially the idea was to include Lobo as the bounty hunter, but the writers kind of veto him out of it. So I'm glad that he's just like, oh no, let's put him back in. because that's what I really wanted to begin with. So yes, that's exciting. So we're gonna get a true vision of what that comic book run was supposed to be like. And on top of that, now a lot of people are excited about Jason Momoa getting the role. So David Leitch, who's the director of Deadpool, he's also, that kind of threw his hat in, like, hey, I need a job. Can you hire me? I did this small little movie called Deadpool. He said, let's do Lobo. I'm sorry, let's do Lobo a feature. So yeah, so he's throwing his hat in, and it's funny that at the beginning of the creation of the DCU, there was this conversation. Nobody wants to work with James Gunn. How about that? How do you like that? Anyway, so yeah, that will be good because he did Deadpool, and Deadpool, let me say this. Deadpool is like Lobo because Lobo was created first. So he has that dry, crazy, over the top sense of humor. He's raunchy, he's metal, he's all those things. So yeah, he was the first Deadpool. He was the first, non-apologetic asshole in the universe. So so it will be fitting for him to do that film if they're gonna do a Lobo film. So yeah, I will absolutely get on board with this if they hire him to do a Lobo film. Yeah, I know I'm talking a lot, but don't worry, I'm gonna be telling you which is the most anticipated film for 2025, and you're not gonna be surprised at all, because I wasn't. Let's get back to this. All right, so Creature Commando dropped early this morning. It was a solid episode. It was not one of the best ones. Even though I like Dr. Phosphorus, I do like him a lot. So far, he's been great. You know what's funny? I did a video about Dr. Phosphorus' origin story on TikTok, and it's blowing up. It has over 100,000 views. Go figure. I don't know how TikTok works. I used to upload content there from time to time. So it's just weird that out of the blue, that thing just took off. And I uploaded like about a year ago when it was announced. Anyway, so yeah, in today's episode, it was all about Dr. Phosphorus, and they showed the second shot of Batman from the DCU. And everybody's losing their minds over this because it's a big guy, a big burly guy. And everybody's already assuming that this is not Robert Pattinson. They are drawing that there's trunks there. I don't see that. I just see silhouette, just like James Gunn said. This is all silhouette, and I don't see anything else other than a big utility belt, and that is just a big guy. So listen. I don't know. All I can say, this is a cool shot. It's just good to know that the DCU is full of metahumans, superheroes, and all kind of vigilantes out there. So yeah, I'm excited for this. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get the white eyes. I think this was just like a little nod to the fans who will watch the anime. Anytime you see Batman in animated form, he's gonna get the white eyes. This is no indication that he's gonna get white eyes when we get the live action version. So yeah, we do not know what's going on, if it's gonna be Pattinson into the DCU. Listen, one thing, I don't think I don't want. I already said this earlier. I do not want to die on that hill. I couldn't care less if it's Pattinson or somebody else. But one thing I'm like 100% like hell bent on, if it's gonna be Pattinson, you're gonna have to make so many changes to that dude, because I want this Batman to be a fantastical Batman. I like the grounded aspect that Matt Reeves that brings to this Batman. I like the noir the whole noir driven stories that he puts out there. I like the whole thing about fighting street level criminals. I like all of that intrigue, all that mystery, all that stuff dealing with. I love it. But if you're gonna bring a new Batman to the DCU, you're gonna have to, I don't know, do your movie magic and make him a little bit more fantastical. Because I could mess with Robert Pattinson. I can. But if you're gonna bring him to the DCU, you have to like amp up the fantastical for that character, because you can have metahumans flying around and Superman and Clayface and all these monsters from Creature Commandos, and then you're gonna have this dude that like, no, I just have this, I got money and I'm an emo and a fight crime, street level crime. But no, give me a fantastical Batman. But anyway, so Bjorn, which is a scooper, I don't put a lot of weight on scoopers. But people talk about it, and people ask me about it, and people inbox me about it, so I gotta talk about it. Sorry. So if you're not, take this with a huge grain of salt, please. Anyway, I find that the silhouette analysis particularly is funny because I think Pattinson will end up being the DCU Batman. That's her words or his words. I don't know who that individual is, and who's kind of saying, doubling down the whole idea that Robert Pattinson is gonna be the DCU Batman. Again, don't care. I just want a fantastical Batman that goes you know what? Let's move on. You know, and continue to talking about and just talking about this some more. James Gunn said, "Hey, I can't wait for people to see more of him alongside with Superman." See, and this is the reason why I want a fantastical Batman. When you hear James Gunn say, "I can't wait for people to see more of him along with Superman," and together, world finest. This is what I want. I remember when they were trying to fix all the issues that were wrong with the DCEU. One thing that I think I did a couple of videos about that, and I think somebody wrote a piece. My boy, Stephen Colbert. The way to fix that is to do a world's finest movie and then build from there. So having a world's finest is just make total sense, like night and day, like the film said. Superman and Batman in the same film, whether it's fighting a bigger threat together. I don't think they should fight each other just yet. I think because they do collide a lot in the comics, and I'm sure there will be a point where they collide with each other because they have very different views on how things should be handled. And so yeah, I just to hear the head of DC saying, "Hey, cannot wait for you guys to see these guys together," it just gives me a nerve boner. So yeah, I'm excited for that. One thing, I think it was Chris Wong who said, let me see if I find that. There you go, I found it. So yeah, World Finest, written by and directed by James Gunn. Make it happen. I'm all in. Listen, one thing about James Gunn is that he knows how to write dark. If you watch in horror stories, he knows how to write dark stories. So whenever you have, that's the reason why I feel that he hired Andy Muschietti, because Muschietti knows how to direct also horror, and he knows how to write and direct horror. So when you have a director and a writer-director who can write horror, he will do an amazing Batman. I think he will be a good director to balance those things, to balance the horror and the action elements for Batman and Superman, and also the light tone that Superman needs. So yeah, I 100% agree with Chris Wong about this one. World's Finest, written and directed by James Gunn. There, take that to the bank. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the core of the video. We're gonna talk about the most anticipated film of 2025. And I remember there was a list that came out a couple of weeks ago. I think it was from Rotten Tomatoes, where it had, I don't know where it had Superman, but everybody was already clowning this film, saying this movie is not gonna, it's not even getting, not even in the top 5, whatever. I don't remember. But today, another list came out from IMDb saying the most 2025, the most anticipated films. And and it's funny because we have number 1, Superman. Of course, this is a movie that everybody wants to see. This trailer already hit 50 million views. And I think that I saw somebody today making a video talking about, well, no, it only hits, it hits 50 million views because there was some marketing behind it. There was ads and whatnot. You know what? Yeah, that's true. That is very true. That is a valid point. However, that's what happens with every movie that came before it. Deadpool, the Infinity films, every big tentpole film that was on the list of top 5, guess what? They were also promoted just like it. So it's not taking anything away from him, from that film trailer hitting $50 million. It still overperformed everything else, period. Take that, you can take it as you will. Anyway, so let's go back to this list. So number 10, you have Mission Impossible, Reckoning. The previous one wasn't that, so I don't know. I didn't know Minecraft made this list. That I was surprised. Jurassic World. When this thing was announced, when the movie for Superman was announced, the release date, which is sandwiched between Fantastic Four and Jurassic World, everybody was saying, "Oh, this movie's dead on the water. Nobody's gonna watch it." Bro, this movie is further down than Snow White, a film that everybody's just like shitting on for no apparent reason. Well, I know what they're hating on, but yeah, so I don't think Jurassic Park was never, or Jurassic World was never in contention for supremacy against Superman. Anyway, so and then after that, you have Snow White #7, Captain America, which I'm like, our pass. You know what? I might go see it. I might see Captain America just for Red Hulk. I'm not a big fan of Anthony Mackie. I shouldn't get into all of that, but anyway, I'm not a fan of Anthony Mackie. So Thunderbolts, hard pass. I'm definitely not gonna see that. So I don't know. I don't even understand why that movie is there. And let me see How to Train Your Dragon. Why? I just noticed something. Thunderbolts and Cabinet. Oh no, Thunderbolts has an ass. Oh, okay, I remember that. How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, a lot of kids want to see that. Fantastic Four, First Steps is number 3. And this can change. I'm not gonna be just like a glazer and say yes, Superman's gonna be number 1. We haven't seen a official trailer or teaser trailer for Fantastic Four, even though there was one released when the movie was announced, or I think it was during one of those Marvel events. But anyway, so yes, it's number 3. Then 28 later, which is not even close to being released near the Superman date, is number 2. And then the big daddy of them all, Superman, is number 1. Tell me how that feels. That feels good. Now everything can change. I still gonna give Fantastic Four a fighter's chance. I'm gonna wait for the trailer to come out to see how it's gonna perform. But I haven't seen anything like from all the behind the scenes stuff that I've seen. I'm like, yeah, okay, this looks good. I'm interested, but not to the level where Superman is making me feel as far as the most anticipated film for next year. So yeah, there it is. That's the list. Guys, make sure to hit like, subscribe. Let me know which is the most anticipated film for you this year. Is it Fantastic Four? Is it Superman? Is it Jurassic World? Or Snow White? Keep it a stack with me. Till next time. Peace.